Hey YouTube, it's Justin, aka Demonic Sweaters, here with another beginner drum lesson. Today is going to be Rudiments, lesson number 4. Now, if you haven't watched lesson number 3 yet, go back and check that out because it's pretty important, where I talk about how to read roll musical notation, or drum roll musical notation, which I'm not really going to go over in this episode, so if you haven't seen that yet, go back and check that one out. What I'm going to do here is basically pick up where I left off after lesson 2, which was the last roll I did in that was the 10-stroke roll. So we're going to be starting off with the 11-stroke roll in this lesson. The reason why it's called 11-stroke roll is because we're counting the total times the stick actually hits the snare drum or whatever drum you're playing on. In my case, I'm just using a electronic drum, not plugged into anything, that I use as a practice pad. But if we just count it out, starting with the right hand, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Now, if you look at the notation in the PAS document, it basically looks like a quarter note with the 3 slashes on it, which, as I explained before, counts as 30-second notes in the span of a quarter note, followed by 2 16th notes, the first one having a slash, which again tells us that that is going to be 30-second notes until the next note. And the next note is just a regular 16th note. So if we were to count this as 16th notes, it would sound like this. 1, E, and 2, E. 1, E, and 2, E. 1, E, and 2, E. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 1, E, and 2, E. Okay, and if we do the closed version of that roll, it would sound like this. 1, E, and 2, E. 1, E, and 2, E. 1, E, and 2, E. And again, the same thing, just the left-hand version would sound something like this. 1, E, and 2, E. 1, E, and 2, E. Oh, got a little bit sloppy there at the end, but I think you get the idea. Okay, let's move on to the next roll. Okay, so now let's move on to the 13-stroke roll. And just like all the other ones, all we're going to have to do to really get this right is just count out the hits that we're going to be hitting the drum. So if we just count them out, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Then if we do the left-handed version, it's just going to sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay, I'm not going to do the closed versions. I think you understand the difference of those now. If you've watched all my other lessons in this Rudiment series, closed just means a more buzz style roll, whereas open means a more military style, regular open roll. Okay, now for the 15-stroke roll, it's kind of hard to count to 15 and play because the numbers just, they get too long to say. And the way I like to count this one is basically using one number per hit, so that way we end on an 8. So if we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright, so the left-handed version is going to go something like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. notice how with the 15-stroke roll, we actually start with the right hand, well, for the right-handed version, and then end on the left hand, and then the opposite is true for the left-handed 15-stroke roll. You start with the left hand and then end on the right hand. And then the easy way to count the 17-stroke roll is basically the same way I did for the 15-stroke roll. It's just count to 9 for every 2 hits. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right, that's going to be all for today's lesson. And thanks for watching. Hopefully you learned something, or if you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them down below. Be sure to subscribe and click the bell icon like all other YouTubers tell you to do. And check out my sponsored link down below too if you want to get a pair, or actually 3 pairs of these LA Special drumsticks. These are made by ProMark. They're very good sticks for the money. Basically, it's the cost of 1 pair of sticks. You get 3 pairs of sticks for the price of 1 on Amazon. Really good deal. So anyway, thanks for watching everybody, and I'll see y'all really soon. Who's left? Thankfully these guys are pretty slow. Otherwise...